Hi, I'm Flora Beal, the Public Affairs Administrator for Miami-Dade County Animal Services. I am here with Parker, who actually belongs to our guest for today, Bronwyn Stanford, from the Director of Miami-Dade County Animal Services. We're so glad to have you here today, and we're actually going to be talking about Snip, Tip, Hooray! It's Spay Neuter Day.
Exactly.
It's our TNVR Trap-Neuter-Vaccinate-Return marathon that we're having. It's almost 2 days long, and we're going to be really focusing on spay-neuter services and vaccination services for our community cats. So I know that our community, there's like an estimated 300 to 400,000 community cats. That's, for the audience, the free roaming, unowned cats that live in families and feline families in our community. What's the challenge with that population, and why is there a need for these services?
Well, that's a great question, Flora. The challenge is that there's so many of them, and if we don't spay and neuter them, that they procreate at a very, very fast rate. And then there's more of them. And, community cats are a really great thing in a lot of ways because they cut down on rats. They have a lot of pros to having community cats, but we want them well taken care of. We want to make sure that all the colonies are fed by feeders. And the most important thing is we want every cat in each colony to be spayed and neutered so that they don't keep procreating.
And it's also better for their health because there's so many health benefits to spaying and neutering, but they also get their vaccine. So they get a rabies vaccine along with their spay and neuter
booster
surgery,
shot. Yep.
Their booster shots to help.
Keeps
So it's really keeping them healthier out in the community when they live out in their feline families. And I know for the community, for example, there are times where you're sitting there hearing the screeches in the middle of the night. They're love screeches. Right. And some people will sometimes complain about the marking of the territory on their yards, et cetera. So some residents think of these cats as a nuisance, and they're really not. There are so many benefits to having them.
Absolutely.
They control the pest population, the rats, the mice, lizards, et cetera. And there's so many benefits to having them out in the community. But we do want to reduce the number or control the numbers because I'm told that they procreate and they can actually start reproducing it as young as like 4 to 6 months old, the females.
True.
And they also have several litters a year. So it's
That's
not
correct.
just one litter. And how many cats are there on average per litter?
It can be anywhere from 2 to sometimes 8.
Yeah, so that's a lot.
And then
so multiply that,
multiply,
guys.
right.
Yeah. So multiply, and those numbers can really get out of control very quickly if you don't have a plan in place. And so that's why we have this TNVR, which stands for Trap-Neuter-Vaccinate-Return program at Animal Services. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the program and how it works?
Yeah, we have one of the best programs in the country, TNVR programs. And what we do is a lot of community trappers. I tell you, I never have. I've lived a lot of places, and I've never seen a community that cares so much about these community cats. I mean, all the colonies are fed by amazing people who use their own money feeding these community cats, and the trappers are out there every day in the night, trapping them, bringing to us at our 2 locations. We have our Doral location, and we have our Pets Thrive in 305 Community Cat Center in Cutler Bay. And we also have the caddy program, the caddy trappers that bring cats to us. They get $15 per cat as one of our. It's a program that we have that any trapper can be invited to participate. And basically, the idea is to have everyone working together, bringing the cats in, and then our vets take care of them. They spay neuter them. They give them their vaccines, their rabies, and their booster, which helps keep them healthy on the street. And then they're returned exactly to that colony where they came from, exactly the street address where they originated at.
So we're returning them, and we're not just returning them to the corner where they belong. We're returning them to their feline families, right?
That's correct. Yes,
because they live in families. They're like pack animals, right? So they live in these what we used to call colonies of cats, and we now refer to them as families of cats, right?
Yeah.
Why is that important to return them to the place of origin?
Well, they're actually not pack animals normally in the wild, but because of the situation we've created with, so many cats, they do, get comfortable with their own kind of feline family. And it can be anywhere. It can be, a group of 5 to 20 to 25 cats all living in one community. And so it's really important because cats really don't like change, and they don't move. They stay in a certain area with their colony. Mm-hmm. So it's really important to move them back to that place because it's inhumane to really move them to a new location. It's very stressful for the cat. They might enter a new colony. That's stressful. Other cats might fight with them. So they really get comfortable and it's safer for them to stay in their own colony. So we really don't like moving the cats. We want them always in their best interest to go back to their original colony.
And I understand that they're also territorial animals. Mm-hmm. So one of the reasons I think that we also return them is because if you move the colony, if you were to say get the whole colony and move that colony out of that area, another colony would just move in because they're going to see the open territory. Here's a place where we can thrive. Another colony had been thriving there, and you're just going to have another colony move in. You're opening up the space
Absolutely.
For a new colony to come in, right?
Yeah, that's a myth. People think that they can move a colony to another location and then it'll alleviate
more
cats,
the
right?
Issue, yeah.
But that's just not true. It's better to keep that colony there, spay neuter them, and keep them healthy and let them live out their life, because what ends up happening if we move that colony, another group of cats will just come in almost immediately. All research has shown that throughout the country. There's been a lot of people that have tried that and it just doesn't work. So it's best for the cats to keep them in that same location, and it's best for everyone involved. And then those cats are always fed too. Like I said, I've never seen a community so committed to the community cats, because all these colonies have feeders. They have people that trap them and bring them to us, and we get them spay and neutered. So it's really a committed community, and we really want to thank the Miami-Dade trappers and community for really caring for these cats and the feeders. They're just amazing people.
And I know that the Community Cat Center is something that we have recently just taken over the management of it.
That's right.
And we remodeled it and opened it. And actually, I think we have a video for the Community Cat Center. Can we go ahead and play that? And it talks a little bit about TNVR. So if we can just show that to the audience, please.
Let's Thrive in 305 Community Cat Center is officially open for business. Any resident is welcome to bring in Miami-Dade County community cats for services. The goal of our Community Cat Center is to offer free Trap-Neuter-Vaccinate-Return or TNVR services to our community cat population. The free TNVR program is an industry-leading best practice and considered to be the most effective and humane way to stabilize the free-roaming cat population. By humanely managing our community cats, we keep them healthy and allow them to live in their natural habitat with their colonies by returning them to their feline families. The Pets Thrive 305 Community Cat Center is open 5 days a week from Tuesday through Saturday on a walk-in basis. No appointment needed. Drop-offs can be done Tuesday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and pickups will happen the day following your drop-off from 3 to 4:30 p.m. For more information about the center and additional details regarding TNVR services, please visit animals.miamidade.gov or call 311.
So as you can see, it's a brand new renovated facility, and it speaks about the TNVR program, which is actually a program that is available to the community, to Miami-Dade County residents and Miami-Dade County cats year round, right?
That's right, Flora. We offer services, I think 6 days throughout the week. And that Community Cat Center is only for TNVR. Although we do have 1 day a week where we do something called No Tip Tuesday. And what No Tip Tuesday is, it's still for community cats, still for cats in the colonies that need to be spayed and neutered and vaccinated. However, people can bring them in on No Tip Tuesday. We actually do the spay neuter, the vaccination, same thing, only they're not tipped. Their ears not tipped, and that way they can be put up for adoption by rescues or or transported out of state. So that's another service that we offer out of that facility that's been really, really popular. So people that find, like, say, younger kittens that really don't want to just spay neuter them and have them back in the colony, they're young enough and not feral yet, they can find a loving home. A lot of people like to do that, so they can bring them in on No Tip Tuesday, and we'll do all the same services. Their ear will not be tipped, and they can be put into a loving home.
That's amazing. And I think that brings us to another program that Selena is actually part of. So tell us a little bit about Selena and why she's here and what program she's involved in.
Well, this is adorable Selena, and she is a part of our new program called the Kittens Rock program. And Kittens Rock stands for Rehoming Our Community Kittens. It is a program where they come in for TNVR, kittens that can be rehomed, and they're spay-neutered. They're sometimes tipped, sometimes not tipped, but then they go on to our adoption floor or into foster. If they're too young, they go into foster until they can be spay and neutered, and then into foster and then into adoption. So it's a really great way to take younger cats and get them loving homes, so they don't all have to go back onto the street. But prior to starting this program, every cat that came in for TNVR was spayed, neutered, vaccinated, given their boosters, and then put back in their colony. Younger kittens like Selena is actually pulled off the TNVR cart and put in our Kittens Rock program. And as you can see, she's a perfect candidate because she's very friendly and very sweet. And she's gone through TNVR, and she still has her ear tip. As you can see, every TNVR cat is ear tipped just so we can tell on the street who's who's spay and neutered and who's not. But Selena is part of our Kittens Rock. She was pulled off the TNVR cart and will be going into a loving home. And as you can see, she's a perfect candidate, and somebody will love her even with her ear tip.
Yeah, and it just gives them an opportunity and gives us an opportunity for loving companions, right?
That's right.
And I know that there's a shortage of cats for adoption at this point in time. And so this just gives people an opportunity who are looking for cats and cats who would otherwise live their lives on the streets, actually the opportunity to have a loving family and a place that they can call home with those loving families. So that's an amazing program. And I actually think we have another video that when you launched the Kittens Rock program with the two Blue Russians. Do you remember the Blue Russians?
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and play that video, because those two were really cute and they were part of the
that's how the Kittens Rock all started.
That's how it all started, with the two Blue Russians. Let's take a look at that.
Hi everybody, my name is Bronwyn Stanford, the director at Miami-Dade Animal Services, and I want you to meet Liam and Logan. And they're very special little kittens because they are the first two kittens to go through our kitten deferral program. What this means is that when individuals bring kittens in for TNVR services, we actually have now a team that will identify certain kittens that meet the criteria, and then they will be vaccinated, spayed, neutered, and actually put into foster care for 2 weeks and then on our adoption floors. So instead of going back to the streets, they will be going into a loving home.
That was really cute. And I remember that they actually went to a family who had two little boys. So each one of the little boys got their kitten.
Yeah.
And it was very, very sweet.
It is. And they still stay in touch with me. They have homes in Sweden, Miami, and I think it was New York. And the kittens go everywhere with them. So that's a perfect example. And I also wanted to say about what's so special about the Kittens Rock program is that, a lot of times smaller kittens don't do as well. There's predators out on the street. So it's really been... It's not only great for people because they get these amazing kittens, get to adopt these amazing kittens, but it also is safer for the kittens to not be put back on the street because they're more vulnerable than the adult kittens, the adult cats that do fine.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
And that kitten, those two little gray kittens started the Kittens Rock program because I was down there with one of my colleagues, and we saw these beautiful kittens, and it just came out of seeing these gorgeous kittens that were really going to be TNVR'd and then put back into their colony. And we thought, wow, these are like highly adopted. Now, at first they were totally feral. I mean, they wouldn't even come near me, but I fostered them. I let them come up as they felt comfortable. I fostered them in my office, and they wouldn't come near me for like a week. And then all of a sudden, before long, they were crawling up my arms, sitting in my lap. And then I knew they were ready for their loving home. But they hit the cat lottery with that home.
Yeah, they did. But it really brings up a good point in the fact that there's a need for the foster families to foster and socialize and help get these kittens available for their forever families, right? So how long a period is that? Tell us a little bit more about what's required of the foster.
That's a really good
if anybody-
point, because it's not good for the cats to come off the kittens, I'm sorry, that even in the Kittens Rock program, to come right off the street and then go onto the adoption floor. They come in with, different, just it's best to put them in the protocol, national protocol, cat health protocol is to put them in foster care for about 2 weeks and then put them on our adoption floor. So you can really, if you're interested in fostering for Miami-Dade Animal Services, you can really save a life. The more fosters we have for the Kittens Rock program, the more we can save from going back on into their colony, the smaller kittens like Selena. So please think about becoming a foster for us. It really saves lives. It really helps the more vulnerable kittens go into foster and then on the adoption floor, as opposed to being put back in their colonies where they're more vulnerable.
And if you're interested in more information about becoming a pet foster, whether it's for one of our dogs or our neonates or even our Kittens Rock program, Kittens, you can send an email to asdfoster@miamidade.gov. That's asdfoster@miamidade.gov, or just visit us on our website at miamidade.gov/animals and find out all the information there. So let's go back to this community cat center and this event that we're having on starting on Friday. So tell me a little bit more about the Snip Tip Hooray! It's Spay Neuter Day.
Yes, this is a really special event that we're having. It's this Saturday. Anyone who has...
Well, it starts on Friday. Friday at 7 a.m.
It actually starts on Friday. You're right. 7 a.m.
Okay.
7 a.m. We're going to be accepting cats all day Friday. Any trappers out there or any people that have some cats in their neighborhood that they would like to see spay and neutered can bring them over to the Community Cat Center. We'll put up the address on the screen for you.
Actually, yeah. Can we put up that there we go, the Snip Tip Hooray flyer? So it's the drop off starts at 7 a.m. at until noon on Saturday
the 18th, and we'll be actually doing the spay and neuters just all throughout that time period. It's going to be really exciting. Our goal is 200 cats. Any kittens that come in, we will be trying to put into foster care so that they don't have to go back onto the streets. We're going to be operating. The Kittens Rock is going to be fully operated on that day. So it's going to be really exciting. And our goal is to do this every month for the community to really make an impact on the community cats and making sure everybody's spayed and neutered. And I'll tell you, there's such a veterinarian shortage right now that this is just a really great way to bring everyone together. We have Miami Veterinary Association participating. Foundation, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Miami Veterinary Foundation. They do so much for us. Irving Lerner and his team does so much. They're supporting this. We also have PETCO Love as a sponsor. And Dr. Brigitt Rok as is financially supporting it and doing so much for us. So we want to thank all those sponsors.
It's definitely takes a village, and we couldn't do it without all the people that come together to support these kinds of initiatives for our community's animals. So yes, absolutely. Thank you so much to everybody who is playing a role in this, including the volunteers who will be out there.
Absolutely.
Checking people in and checking the cats in. The trappers who will be out in the community in full force.
For the success.
And of course, any resident who wants to come in and just bring in their local neighborhood cat to make sure that they are spayed, neutered, and get their vaccines and everything. It is open to all of our Miami-Dade County community residents as well to bring in those cats and really help us drive these numbers up, because it is critical to make sure that they're healthy out there in the community. Now, it is happening at the Community Cat Center. Can you put that address back up again? I think it's 10700 Southwest 211th Street, and that's in Cutler Bay. It's the Pets Thrive in 305 Community Cat Center, which is kind of our ground zero for TNVR programs, right? And just an important point to make sure that everybody realizes that if you do drop off a cat, you have to bring it, come back the next day on Saturday
4 and 6.
between 4 and 6.
4 and 6,
I think it is. What does it say up there? Yes, between 4 and 6, to go ahead and pick them up to take them back to their feline families where they belong. Right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So unless it's a kitten that's being deferred into the Kittens Rock program, you are expected to come back and pick up the cats that you drop off and take them back into their neighborhoods. It's a critical part of the TNVR. So that R, the return them back to their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So that's really, really important for everybody that would like to participate in this. And remember that even though this is a marathon where we're trying to get as many done as possible, this is a program that is open year-round to all of our community residents. Anybody who wants to come in, bring in a community cat, can do so. And of course, there are incentives and different programs for those people who want to volunteer for Caddy.
Caddy, yep.
Tell us a little bit more about Caddy.
Caddy is a special group of trappers that work very, very closely with us. They're contract employees. We actually give them $15 for every cat that they bring in. So anybody that wants, to participate in that, can.
And there are some prerequisites.
There are.
You have to bring a minimum in
Yes,
to be able to qualify for the TIP program.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they would see Bernie over in Doral.
Excellent. So anybody who's interested, just come into the Doral community, the Doral Pet Adoption and Protection Center. I'm getting my stuff confused now. The Doral Pet Adoption and Protection Center. Ask for Bernie Alfonso, and he will be able to tell you all the information, how you can sign up to be one of our superstar trappers. And we do, and that tip really does help you to cover the cost of gas, the cost of food, right? So some of the things that we feel that we should help our community cat trappers out there.
We appreciate them so much.
Yeah.
I mean, they do so much. We wouldn't be able to make the impact that we are making without those trappers, both the Caddy members and the community trappers. I tell you, there's a lot of people in the community that really bring in a lot of cats also and really help us out. So they're so valued because we could not do it alone. It is, like you said before, it takes a village. It's all of us working together to help these cats and prevent more kittens from being born and making sure that they're healthy and get their boosters and that kind of thing. So
excellent. So is there anything else that you would like to tell the community about this program or about the event that we're having before we bid them adieu?
Just that we do this in Doral. We take cats every day they can bring in. We even created some parking spots in the back just for TNVR participants, so they can go right in and park and with their traps. We have traps that we have available for people that want to participate in these programs. We give them out. We sign them out. So we give you all the everything that you need to participate. And also we do this, like I said, this is a special event. We're trying to get ahead of kitten season, and we're going to be doing these once a month throughout kitten season to try to help prevent more kittens from being born. And then but we still run these programs in Doral and at the Community Cat Center in Cutler Bay, all during the week. So you can still bring in cats, but this is a special event that we're trying to hit that 200 to help us, for upcoming kitten season.
Yes, because this is the reproductive season for them.
One more thing, we do want to do a dog one also for rescues who find dogs in the Redlands or own dogs. Our plan is to do one of those coming up in the next few months, and that will be a very low-cost spay and neuter surgery too. So look for that.
Just covering all our bases, trying to make sure that all of our pets out there are healthy and sterilized, and that we're trying to contribute to managing the pet population, not only in the community, but also at the shelters, because spaying and neutering your dogs also helps to prevent the overpopulation in the shelters across the country. So we do want to make sure that everybody knows that not only is it the responsible thing to do, it is the healthiest thing for your pets. So with that, we encourage you to come on in. We do have low cost services for our community for dogs and cats. But right now we're focusing on the cats because it is mating season, and that means that we're going to be expecting a lot more kittens in the coming months, and we want to try and get ahead of it. So
That's
just
correct.
perfect timing for that. Please do participate. Go ahead and put that banner back up so that they know what we're doing. Absolutely. So remember, this is for community cats for that all Miami-Dade County residents can bring in. They must be community cats from Miami-Dade County, though,
Correct.
to be able to be eligible for this. And they get vaccinated, they get sterilized, and then they get returned back to
their
their
booster. Their booster.
Ear-tipped.
Ear-tipped. They're all ear-tipped so that we know that they've been spayed and neutered so we don't pick up the same cat.
Right. And that's an important thing.
Piece, yeah.
Bring down the banner. So that's an important thing because
like Selena.
That ear tip that you see, it helps us to identify those cats that are in the community that have already been through the program.
Right. So a trapper doesn't go out and trap the same cat
and bring it back in
and bring
then
it
we
back
look at it and it's like, oh,
this way we know that the trappers know that that cat has been spayed and neutered. And the last thing
it's less trauma for the cats.
Oh yeah,
well.
we don't want
we don't want to re-traumatize
exactly.
them.
We don't want to do that. But I also want to encourage anybody that wants to adopt Selena. She's adorable, as you can see. She is in our Kittens Rock program. And also, just want to say, too, that we've been over capacity like every shelter in the nation right now. We're going through overcapacity of dogs. And so we want to really encourage people to come by. Prior to looking at buying a dog, if you just come by and look at our dogs, we have wonderful, wonderful dogs, often over 400 of them that all need loving homes. We want to really encourage people to just come by and check us out.
Yes, absolutely. Open 7 days a week.
That's right.
Starting at 10 a.m. So there's no excuses, guys, why you can't come. There's always at least one day off that you can come and you can look and find a new, what is it, the love of your life. Find the
Yeah,
love
we're
of
running
your
the
life.
Love of Your Life camp. We
just ran the Love of Your Life campaign.
With Valentine's Day, we just ran Find the Love of Your Life. And anybody that has an animal knows that that animal is the love of their life, because there's no one more loyal and more loving than a pet in your life, a cat or a dog.
Absolutely. So we want to thank everybody again for tuning in. Please continue to tune in to these very important shows that we have on community newspapers in partnership with Miami's community newspapers. Always appreciative of the opportunity to get this message out to the community. We look forward to seeing you again. And with that, we bid you adieu. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone.